We're on. Good morning. Sorry. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for saying good morning again. I want to let everybody know that we have beautiful orchids in the back, and they're up for grabs on your way out, and they were a gift from April and her friend Debbie. And we also have some very ripe guacamole-ready avocados in the back that are welcome to take. And hold on one second. I needed my prompt. I wanted to remind people that we are starting a book study on the untethered soul this Thursday at 2 o'clock on our regular Zoom link. If anybody would like to join, please let me know before that time, and I'll make sure you have the link. The Untethered Soul. Okay. So, Adam says I have to remind you, no singing or pule chanting. But nobody is going to get you if you just mouth the words quietly behind your masks like you were talking. That works for me. That's what I do, because it's hard for me not to sing along. And speaking of singing along, let me introduce our wonderful musician, David Nudelman, who will give you his first selection. And after that, we will have our pule on video.
Thank you very much. Hope I don't sneeze. Let me see, I've been hearing a lot lately about forgiveness and atonement, and with all that's going on, it's a lot. So I'm going to sing a song from the 1940s by the Weavers. It's about judgment. It's about a lot of things, but I don't know. Make out what you think it's about. I don't know. Here we go.
Adam, are you putting the pule on? Okie dokie. There it is. Okay. So I love the Weavers, but I do want to remind everybody that we are not sinner men and that we're not running away from Judgment Day. We're just judging ourselves and trying to do better when we make a mistake. I always think of Ernest Holmes, one of my favorite quotes. He says, "There's no sin but a mistake and no punishment but a consequence." I like that much better. Anyway, I'd like to call forward right now Casey Wilson, who's going to be offering our opening treatment. Casey and her husband Doc are newly resettled on the island, and they were members of the Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, and they're both practitioners in training, so I'm so happy to have them with us. Casey.
So, aloha no, everyone. I'm very happy to be here, and I just invite you to turn it up. More better. Okay. All right. I ask you to join me in consciousness. Taking a deep breath and just settling into that beautiful place. That place of connection and knowing. That place where we remember that there is only one life. And that life is source. That source is peace. That source is love. It's abundance. It's beauty. It's that feeling that we feel when we look on beauty in nature, on a rainbow, on the ocean. We feel when a puppy jumps onto our lap, or when we hold a beautiful baby. That feeling of knowing the beauty and perfection and goodness of life. And because that is all there is, and there is nothing else, as I know that is life, I know that is me, that I too am a droplet of the great ocean of Source, fully divine and fully human. And I know that for myself, I know that for every other person, every other being, each person here, sharing in this moment, each person enjoying this virtually, each and every being is one with Source. And so I speak my word now for the beauty of this moment and our union with Source. I bless Reverend Kathy and the perfection of her message that she will bring forth this morning. I bless our musician who shares his talent and his connection with Source. I bless Adam and his team and every other person who has shared to make this beautiful unfolding a reality. And I'm so thankful for our opportunity to be here remembering truth about life. I'm so thankful for each life and for the beauty of every moment that we share together. Thank you for this ministry and really for this opportunity to be together in real time, something that we appreciate so much more in these times. And so I release my word into the creative law of effect and into the medium that receives and blesses all truth that is spoken and magnifies in a magical way the desires of our hearts. And so I ask you to join me in saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Casey. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. And now it's time for our creative thought. And I'd like to present to you our man of many jobs and many trades that keeps us all up and running and on camera. We're so grateful for that, and we do bless him. Adam, Lightplay.
Okay, so now I'm on camera instead of behind the camera. So, as usual, I just pulled something out of my root chakra here to share with you folks. And actually, this was an epiphany I had a few weeks ago, and is very deep and meaningful for me, and I hope I can remember why. And so I'm going to share that with you. It's kind of a work in progress. It's kind of a three-part thing, and I've figured out, I had an epiphany about two of them, and one is still a mystery. So I might leave you hanging. It's kind of like we got as far as Empire Strikes Back, but my heart might still be frozen in carbonite, so you might have to wait a little while for Jedi to get the punchline. But I hope you don't mind my just sharing a little of my my own inner monologue, and hopefully it'll be something that'll be of value for you. So in the loving relationships training, they had a thing called your personal law, and then they changed it to personal lie, which is usually like helps you get at your most negative thought, that real core stuff that's driving you, that, you know, the real, you know, the one we locked into early, like I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm bad, stuff like that. And I've slowly realized that I think mine was that my love wasn't enough. And I don't know where I got that, but it was kind of down there at a subconscious level. My love wasn't enough to keep my parents from divorcing. My love wasn't enough to get what I needed out of the world. And so it was subconscious for a long time, and over the decades of work, it's slowly become a little more clear that that's kind of what's circulating in the background there. And a few weeks ago, I was thinking about it, and, you know, I based that, like I said, you know, my love couldn't keep mom and dad together, you know, couldn't keep relationships together, and so I thought the flaw was within me. And yet, you know how sometimes you have knowing, it's not a thought, it's not like a thought that you've locked onto, it's just something like kind of you know right in your heart. I don't have a lot of those because I'm a real mental, logical guy, but every so often I get a few. And that one that my love is enough kept coming up, that's in there. Am I crazy to believe that my love is enough? And I finally realized that, yes, my love is enough. Everybody has free will. Mom and dad didn't want to stay together. That was their choice. The world wants to debate and work out their issues and whatever the heck we're doing right now as a planet and as a consciousness. But that doesn't mean that my love is not enough. And of course, I'm speaking for all of us. Our love, we're connected to an infinite source. And by golly, that love is enough to heal everything. It may not because of other people's choices, but it can. And I'm going to stick to that delusion because I like it. And thought's creative, so if you got a delusion that's wonderful and heals the world, then hang on to it. So then I thought about relationship love, man, woman. And when I was a teenager, you know, I was kind of a nerd, but eventually I got my first girlfriend, and then eventually I got my second girlfriend. And I would feel like this, something in my heart, like this outreach, and it was kind of like, well, that's how I felt about my first girlfriend. And like, is that not okay? You know, this is a new person. I can't feel about her the way I felt about another person. And gradually I've realized that love is love. And there's the feminine archetype in the story. There's Adam and Eve. You know, Jesus had a mother named Mary, and then he had a partner named Mary, and they were a power couple. And so that's another thing that I've had an inkling of is in my relationships. They haven't always gone wonderfully, but every so often I just am aware of that perfection, that perfect yin-yang, that perfect male-female connection. And I know my love is enough. I know that I can be a total partner, soulmate with a person. I've had those moments, time, space, and other things came into play, but I believe that that is enough. So, and I even at one point, I'll share with you some other time, maybe next time I'm doing creative thought, I actually wrote a letter of apology to Eve from Adam about all that stuff in the garden. I handled it really poorly, and I blamed her for a bunch of stuff, those emotions were new stuff, I didn't know how to deal with it, and boy, did it have repercussions. Not only did we throw our own ass out of the garden, but then our kids started killing each other, and we're still trying to heal that crap, so I figure, good things always come in three. So, okay, my love is enough to heal the world. My love is enough to have a partnership. I thought maybe there's a third one. Maybe I'm leading up to something. What could it possibly be? Maybe my love is enough to love myself. Yeah, that's a hard one. That's the one I'm still working on. The Course in Miracles says that all this mishigas is just because we're in a battle with God, that somehow our war with God, I'm not infinite. I don't like this powerful stuff. I didn't sign up for this. All kinds of chatter is why all this is going on. And I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. It's very esoteric, but I think there's something in there. So part 3 is I'm going to try to really embody that my love is enough to love myself. And of course, I'm speaking for all of us. So your love is everything. You are God. And if we all remember and love who we are, then I think that'll get us a little further along. Thank you.
Your love is enough. And we love you very much, Adam, and we are so appreciative of all you do for us. So let's, at this point, welcome back David Nudelman, who is going to present his second selection for us today.
Thank you. Well, this song is about letting go of your feelings. Whether you're mad, over happy, super happy, whatever you're feeling, sometimes it feels good to just cry. So, here we go. It's alright to cry. Crying gets the sad out of you. It's alright to cry. Might make you feel better. Raindrops from your eyes washes the mad out of you. Raindrops from your eyes might make you feel better. It's alright to feel things. The feelings, they may be strange. Feelings, they are real things. They change and change and change. I'm sad, I'm grumpy, I'm down in the dumpy. I'm snuggly, I'm huggly, I'm mean and I'm ugly. I'm hoppy, I'm happy, I'm sad and I'm sloppy. And I change and change and change. And I change. It's alright to know. Feelings come and feelings go. It's alright to cry. I make you feel better. It's alright to cry. Crying gets the sad out of you. It's alright to cry. Thank you very much.
David, you are bringing up such memories for me. First, the Weavers. I had all of their albums when I was young. Now, It's All Right to Cry, which in one of my many careers, I was a preschool teacher, and I used to teach my children that song. I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much. And now it's time for our speaker. We love her. Everybody was so excited to hear that she was coming back. And you can see we got a full house here. I keep thinking of the song, God's Gonna Trouble the Waters. I'm sure Rabbi Rachel's going to trouble the waters. She keeps us thinking, she keeps us on our toes, and she keeps us laughing. What could be better than that? Rabbi Rachel Short.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that. God's going to trouble the water. No. But it is true, right? It's happening. So last time I was here, I was called controversial in the email the following week. I'm okay with that. I don't know why. I've accepted it, and I've meditated and thought a lot about it. And I've realized that controversy usually creates change. So I'm okay with rippling the waters. I'm okay with questioning. And right now, I think we all need to be doing that. We're in an age where critical thinking is like a weird thing all of a sudden. If you're a critical thinker, you're a conspiracy theorist. I don't know. I encourage critical thinking. So it's Erev Yom Kippur today, for those that aren't Jewish. Yom Kippur, I'm going to talk about a little more, is the Day of Atonement, or as I like to say, at one-ment. But in Judaism, we start our holidays in the evening. So we're a lunar people. It's a lunar calendar. It's from the moon to the moon. So from sunset tonight till sunset tomorrow night, we'll fast, we'll atone, we'll come to at one-ment. And the reason I call it is at one-ment is I think the word atonement has been completely misinterpreted. That there's this big white guy in the sky with a stick, and it even says this in some of the prayers, a staff and a rod, everyone going before like sheep parading under, who shall live, who shall die, the decisions that shall be made. I don't know that I buy that, because the prayer that I just quoted is called the Unatena Tokef, and it's the prayer of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur that we read every year. And those are the words of it. Who shall perish by fire? Who shall perish by water? Who shall live? Who shall die? All these things. You shall parade before me like a shepherd, a flock, and I shall make these decisions. But the end of it, the middle line, but teshuvah, repentance, prayer, and charity, avert God's severe decree. So to me, this is the reminder of choice. That we're given free will. That the Day of Atonement, to me, is the day of accountability. The day to be at one with ourselves. Break down the word of atonement, okay? Where are we at? We're at right here. One. Oneness. We're all one. And ment, the definition of ment, because I Googled this. I was like, what is ment? I can get I can get one. What's ment? Forming nouns expressing the means or result of an action. So atonement is the result of coming to at oneness with ourselves, with each other, with other people, and it's being radically accountable. So Yom Kippur, traditionally we'd go to services all day, we'd be fasting. I remember sneaking Hershey Kisses out of my dad's tallest bag as a little girl and him being like, please don't crackle the things really loud. Everyone else around you's fasting. But it's a reset. It's a day to really look at our lives. And we should do this every day. I don't think we need a special day as a reminder, but sometimes we are called to get a reminder, right? Sometimes there is just that one day that the planet, the universe, God, whatever it is that's bigger than us, it's like, hey, set this aside and just focus on you. Focus on me. Let's reflect. Let's see where change needs to happen. Repentance. I don't see anything more important than repentance. It's the path of forgiveness. With ourselves, it's the path of accountability. I don't view repentance as this religious, forgive me for I have sinned. I'm sorry, that's not Jewish in any capacity. I view it more so of, hey, I'm a human, I messed up, ho'oponopono, how can I make this right? And we have to do that not only with other people, but with our Creator. And I think we forget that. Adam talked a little bit about Adam and Eve and the breakdown. I was talking to a friend about that this morning because she was having problems with a guy, and I was saying, you know, look, it goes all the way back to this. They threw us under the bus from the beginning. We never had a chance. And I mean, just really, from the get-go, talk about a pain body that's been carried on for years in the feminine psyche. 5,781 years ago, this dude was like, I mean, she made me do it. No, Adam, no, I'm sorry, I don't buy it. But going a little bit off topic, when I was in New York, I had the honor of going to this like hoity-toity synagogue, and they had an in-house artist who was this very, very famous Israeli woman from Israel, and she was a scribe. And a scribe is someone who writes Torah. It's a very specific job to be able to write Hebrew. She was rewriting the Torah, so everything that was male was female. So that, right? So that Eve, Adam actually took it from Eve. And her whole thing was for there to be even, right? For there to be oneness, for things to come back to a regular basis of true balance, the Star of David, the male, the female, that you had to redo and undo everything that had been done. So the theme at the center here this month is facing the fear, right? I don't know that there's anything that could have gone better for me to talk about facing fear on the Day of At-One-ment. Because to me, fear is the illusion that we're all being inundated with on a daily basis, on a moment-by-moment basis. Fear is the virus that's running rampant across our world right now, in our media, in one another. I watch the way parents look at me when my kid runs up to hug another kid now. I mean, fear is truly what we need to be coming to At-One-ment with right now. The reality that fear is present and that we choose fear. Fear is a conscious choice. Fear isn't something that is there and is forced upon you in any way. You choose to be afraid. You choose to look and say, oh no. If we're taught that the world's a scary place, then the world's going to be a scary place. Everyone here knows that. If we're taught that fear is an illusion and love is the only true reality that there is, then we know this deep in the place, right? And when we come to At-One-ment, the moment, the oneness that we all are, the oneness that's bigger than us, that gives us life, and we bring that all together, we see that radical accountability and love is the vaccination against fear. Repentance, prayer. What is prayer? Meditation, connecting to source, reminding yourself there's something bigger than you. I was asked on the way in here why we wear yarmulkes. It's a reminder that there's something always above you. There's something always above us. And whenever we close our eyes and get quiet and pray, we know that's true. And charity, mitzvot, technically the word means commandment. It's the definition, meaning that we are commanded to do good things for other people. That we're commanded to come here from a place of love and service. And when we choose fear, we don't choose that for ourselves or for others. And I think right now we're all being called to get a little uncomfortable. We talked about, Adam spoke about, the spiritual battle, that we're all at battle with God. Abraham was at battle with God. Moses was at battle with God. This is nothing new. We want to believe that we're less than we are. That's the inherent feeling. The inherent fear of, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, forgetting that we are at one every moment with whatever it is that gives us life, gives us breath, and puts us here, because otherwise we wouldn't be here, and that's just the fact of it. You can't argue with that. But that's easier said than done when the world's a scary place. But there has to be darkness for there to be light. And when, again, Jews being a lunar people, when the sky's dark, the moon and the stars have to work together to shine brighter. When the moon is full, it's easy, right? The sky's bright, we can see. But when the moon is new and things are getting dark, we have to shine just a little more to be able to see. And I think right now, we're all being called to shine just a little more, to choose just a little more. And when I say to choose just a little more, I mean recognize the power of choice. A lot of people like to say the Jews are the chosen people. I think the thing is, our teachings just teach the power of choice. That's what that is to me. That at every single moment, you are given the choice. The thoughts in your head, is this based in fear or is this based in love? And if this thought is going to go out and come back to me, what does it look like when it returns? So, I think we don't have any room for fear anymore. And we're being shown that fear can take over if we let it. But when we come to the place of love and oneness and God, the Torah portion we read on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is where Abraham goes to the top of the mountain and goes to sacrifice his only son. You know what he says? God says, Avram, Avram. Avram says, Hineni, Hineni. The word Hineni in Hebrew means here I am, meaning it's a call to be accountable, to rise up and say, here I stand, you gave me this life, I am you, you are me, and I am. The most powerful statement. So when we say, here I am, do we stand in love or do we stand in fear? Because if we stand in fear, I don't see us going anywhere. So I have a little something to share with you. It's one of my most vulnerable, so here goes nothing. I sit and write so many feelings, so many things that been concealing. The lies and anger, abuse and stealing, the reality of life has left me reeling. And in times like these, I feel like kneeling, just giving up, punching the ceiling. It's like sometimes it's too much to keep on dealing, but when I surrender, the layers start peeling, and I know I am on the path of healing. The choice is ours always, love or fear, in this moment right now, in this moment right here. We can't see things crystal clear, but it's up to us what direction we steer. Do we feel the feelings or grab a beer? Do we truly look, listen, and hear? Do we trust the divine, that accidents aren't mere? Do we trust ourselves to level up a tier? Do we have faith that the divine is always near? Do we know we're being called to shift up a gear? Do we still love one another, respect our peers? Do we know that we're capable of leaving fear in the rear? Do you know that you're worthy and powerful, my dear? The Day of Atonement, we reflect and fast. We look at our life and get real with our past. Know that the future is within our grasp. We summon the angels with a shofar blast. We find accountability, our lines we cast. We can choose to let go of being first or last. We've been told finding forgiveness is the thing to do. But sometimes those feelings are hard to come through because it's not about them, it's about you, clearing the energy, turning gray skies to blue. Sometimes there's many, sometimes there's few, sometimes it's scary, sometimes it's new. Not choosing fear is what we need, this is true, and you are needed. There is no one in lieu. This time is holy, whether or not you're a Jew, you're on the planet, you're a part of this crew. Sometimes I don't know if we really grew, but then I shift perspective and choose to see a new hue. The choice is all ours, and sometimes we rue. Stuck in our mind, in our emotions we stew. Yes, we all do it, we're all human too. I feel like I speak for the one that is, that guides me and shows me how is best to live. That we were put here not to take, but to give. The Day of Atonement, the high holy day, to choose to go inward, listen and pray. Surrender to what is, Stay out of your own way. Choose to be rainbow, but see the shades of gray. Love your inner child. Go out and play. Say the things that are difficult to say. Leave behind what you know should not stay. Let go of the fear. Choose to walk away. Tapping into your heart keeps the ego at bay, because if yours is like mine, it can be really cray. At-one-ment is needed as the layers fray. We are called to awaken. It doesn't work just to lay. God and the angels are being like, hey, we need you. You got this. You don't get to say nay. We are always supporting you, come what may. You are powerful. You slay. Just doing the work, ancestors' debts we do pay, but we are guided to turn back when we stray. Fear is a choice. Use your voice. Choose to love and let go, and choose to rejoice. It isn't just one day of the year. We have the power, and it's always right here. Although it's not always super crystal clear, I know we're supported and oh so loved, my dear. It's really an illusion, this thing we call fear, because it doesn't really exist. We choose if it's near. We choose the speed. We choose the gear. You are the driver, and that fact is not mere. You write your story. You choose to steer. You are the one who decides where to veer. Always supported, never alone. On this place we call Earth, we are always at home. Being called to rise up, our skills we can hone, connect with the ocean, the trees, and the stones. No one gets out alive. That cover's been blown. And you are the one who sets the tone. Are you the hero or victim? Do you throw yourself a bone? Do you choose to sing and dance or grumble and moan? Look for the signs that you're being shown. It's time for at-one-ment. Mahalo shaloha, namaste shalom. Thank you, everybody.
Wow. Thank you, Rabbi Rachel. That was incredible, as always. And now it's time for our virtual and real collection. For those of you who are here, there are 2 baskets in the back, one on the sign-in table, one on the kitchen counter, next to the orchids that you're all going to take home with you. And for those of you who are out there in YouTube land, there's a donate link on our webpage, hawaiicsl.org, and there's also a donate button at the bottom of the show that you're watching now. And we also gratefully accept checks, and the address is on our website. Thank you all for generously donating and keeping us alive and well and running and strong. We appreciate it so much. So if you would, at home or right here, take your offering or just put it in your hands, your blessing, whatever it is, and repeat our prosperity affirmation with me. Divine love, in and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is. We're grateful for you. Thank you. And right now we're going to call back David for his final selection.
Thank you. Here's a song by Willie Nelson. Usually I do originals, but I don't know, when I came up with my list today, it just came to me, so here we go. I've been too sick to pray, Lord. That's why we talked in a while. think of to say. Well, I thank you, my friend. I'll be calling again if I'm not too sick to pray. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks, Dave. Finally, he sang a song I didn't know. I'm a Willie Nelson fan. That was great. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have a couple of standing in the light requests. And the first one is from Susie Garfield, who's not with us today. She's at home taking care of business. But she wanted us to stand in the light for Sunny. We've been standing in the light for Joan, and we continue to know that her perfect healing is unfolding. But Sunny's had some health challenges too, and he's done an amazing job of taking care of Joan, but he's not feeling so great. He's dealing with some challenges. So let's just know that his perfect healing is unfolding also, and let's just surround him with love. And also, this is a former friend, Loudon, who used to attend our center. We just found out that he is being challenged with prostate cancer. So let's know for him as well that his perfect healing is unfolding and that he is surrounded and supported and sustained in love. And lastly, Charlena, who's here with us today, and I'm just going to read what she says. She says, I intend that my entire body is healthy, relaxed, and functioning perfectly. And so it is. So we'll intend that with you, Charlena. Definitely. And before we have our closing prayer treatment and our closing circle video, I want to remind you that if you would like to, you can join us on Zoom following the service to socialize a little bit. The link is in the description line of the video, and Adam will probably show the video again after we have our closing circle. So we would welcome you to join us on Zoom after the service. And right now, I'm going to call up Casey's half. I'm not going to say better half, but this is Casey's husband, Doc, who is also a practitioner in training, and he's going to close us out with a closing treatment.
One of the joys of being vertically enhanced is I move the microphone quite a bit. I'm not going to take my mask off. I am hoping you can understand if I speak more clearly. Okay? So if you would join me in taking a nice deep cleansing breath, let it out gently so we're not spreading any germs. Oh. As spirit is spirit, life is life. All of us are intertwined together, just like a brook that fills a little valley with blessing, life, and nourishment. So too are we spreading this nourishment, this life, with others with whom we come in contact. I speak my word now for this center, the blessing that it is, it has been, and will continue to be, as those who come here, those who watch, we are all together. I am so grateful for the message that Rabbi Rachel brought to us today. I am so very grateful that Reverend Kathy is the person that she is, that we all have a place to come. We all have a place to reside and know that each of us are intertwined. We are together. I'm so thankful that the atonement message of being at one with God, with Goddess, with other humans, and with all beings. And so I ask now that we would come together in prayer, an affirmative prayer, knowing that we have a wonderful week, knowing that everything is already planned, it's already in motion. And I join you in, I ask you to join me in saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you to everybody who participated in today's service. Aloha. We'll see you all next week.
Hi folks, Adam here. I hope you can join us right now over in a nice Zoom meeting so we can see each other face to face and come up with the closest thing we can to coffee and fellowship after church. So if you're watching on your computer and you're watching in full screen, you might have to hit the escape key so it comes back to a view kind of like this. And then if you move down here, you'll see the description of the video. You might have to click on the show more, and there's the link for the Zoom. So now all you have to do is click on that link, and it will take you to the next page, and hopefully you've already got the Zoom app installed. If you've never used Zoom before, it'll offer you the choice to download and run Zoom. Otherwise, you can just get to open up your Zoom app, and you click on that window, and now there it goes, and it's opening up, inviting you to join with your computer audio. Yes, that's what you want to do. And voila, you'll be in the room. If you're watching on your mobile phone, it's similar. You might have to scroll down from the YouTube video or click a drop-down menu so that you can see, again, the description of the YouTube video. And in that description, you'll see the Zoom link, and click on it, and there you go. You're all invited to the Zoom meeting, and very quickly you will see all your friends. Thanks.